let's talk about how to reap the rewards to supersizing and growing your business. As we're building and growing our business, we want to make sure as owners and founders, we're actually celebrating and getting some rewards out of it. We're finishing up the this month's focus in this year's annual challenge, to Get Your Goals annual challenge, is on confidence. We're finishing up the 7-step process that we designed and created in January by looking at a whole bunch of different goal frameworks we created, and we picked and pulled the pieces we like for our own process. And every month in each of the different areas and aspects of the life framework, we've been focusing on applying that at the end of each month. So today is step 7, which is rewards and celebration. That's the tie into reap the rewards. Reap the rewards is an idiom that's been around for a long, long time. It's at least the topic of discussion that's been around for a long, long time. It dates back to the Bible. I need a magnifying glass so I can get the reference points correct. But it's in Galatians 6:7, Proverbs 11:13, talks about the intent of the things we put out into the world. And if they're evil, guess what? You're going to get evil back. And then 22:8 in Proverbs as well talks about a man or a person reaps what they sow. I like this idiom because it reminds us, it comes from agriculture as well, is a more modern understanding and use of reap the rewards. And although there isn't one specific reference to it, there are literally thousands of references to this particular idiom or expression, because it reminds us the seeds that we plant early in the year, we reap the harvest of later in the year. The things we put out into the world, we get the rewards of. The investments we put into ourselves, other people, our businesses, our lives, we reap the rewards later on. There's not this instant thing. I do something and I instantly get a result. A lot of people expect instant gratification, but they're usually disappointed, right? I think I want something, therefore I should manifest it immediately. I believe I deserve something, so it should just pop up and appear in my life. No, there's a little more effort, a little more intention required than just magically appearing. Would be nice. I mean, and no, it wouldn't. If you've ever achieved a goal, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you set a big goal for yourself and you've achieved that goal, I don't know about you, but when I achieve that big goal, I'm happy for about 2 seconds, right? Or maybe I get an hour or two, a sense of satisfaction and pride out of that. Then I'm like, okay, well, what's next? Because I know that as human beings, we're always striving for more and more and more and more. Excuse me, I have a total tickle. We've had like a week long of rain and thunderstorms where I live, and it just bugs my throat. So reap the rewards. The seeds that we plant are what we're going to grow. Now, we had a fun example of this one this summer at our house. We had a couple of pots in the yard, and we planted this awesome tomato plants in one giant pot, big giant, like barrel, like a wine barrel size, cut off half pot. And we got probably these 4-foot high tomatoes, all kinds of different cherry tomatoes. We had purple and yellow and little bright orange, red ones. And we've really enjoyed, and my granddaughters have really enjoyed picking these little tomatoes off this plant. And my 2-year-old granddaughter thinks anything round is a ball. First time she saw it, she plucked off one and threw it, and then was upset that it didn't bounce because she thought it was a tree that was growing little bouncy balls. So that was fun. Now she knows they're tomatoes because she got to eat some. But we also had a couple of pots that just had plants start growing in them, and we weren't sure if my daughter's mother-in-law had planted something in them or not. And lo and behold, as this 4-foot high plant grew in one of them and about 2 or 3 feet in another, my daughter took a picture of them and Googled. You can go shoot Google images and it'll search out, by showing it a picture these days on our cell phones, they're so powerful, a picture of these plants that turned out just to be weeds. So we're very successful at growing weeds in pots, as well as this awesome tomato plant, which was a perfect example and reminder to me. We reap what we sow. Whether we know what we're sowing or not, we're going to get a result from that. And if the results aren't what we want, we have to take a couple of steps back and ask ourselves, if our business isn't growing as fast as we think or expect it to. If we're comparing ourselves to others, that's going to cause us frustration. But if something isn't getting us the results we want, we don't blame the results or lack of results. We go back to the drawing board and we say, okay, what inputs need to change in order for me to get a different result? And a lot of time it's just our way of looking at a situation, our perspective, our thoughts, our beliefs about something that have to be tweaked and changed a little bit to get a different result. So love to know your experience with this particular idiom, reap the rewards. I use different versions of this in my life just about every day, reminding people, especially my children and grandchildren, clients, etc., you get out of stuff what you put into it. I like to have a little equation that says work in equals results out, or put in equals get out. What we put into something is what we get out of it. It applies to everything in our life, right? What we put into our relationships will determine if those relationships are right for us or not, and if they feel right for us or not. And it doesn't matter what the other person puts in. The only thing we can control is the effort and the energy we put into something. That's another one of those big life lessons that you're just like, you can give and give and give. And I know some people that are just these incredible givers, and but they're not necessarily very good receivers. And if you're not an excellent giver and a great receiver, you're not going to get back the things that you put into life because you're blocking them. And that's you. That's not anybody else. That's you blocking the good in the world that wants to come to us. Our businesses all want to be huge and make the world a better place. The only reason they're not yet is somehow we are blocking them. So if we can figure out what that bottleneck is and what in us is blocking them and preventing them from being huge, whammo, all of a sudden that business grows, and you're watching it and you're like, oh my God, this was way easier than I thought it was going to be. Now, it doesn't feel like that necessarily on the day-to-day basis, but that is the end result looking back. All right. Share in the comments below your experience, your expression, your thoughts on this particular idiom, reap the rewards. Do you think you deserve to reap the rewards? I'm going to say you absolutely positively do. If no one's told you yet, you deserve all the rewards and all the good things that are coming your way if you're putting the good work in and putting in the consistency, persistent, painting the vision for other people, etc. All right, have a great day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.